carried around this her ex-husband and a former life, and it permeated into everything that she did and what literally every conversation she had to bring it up.
Hello out there.
Hi everybody. How are you? God, I can't see my eyes. I need a haircut.
How are you? Mother and daughter dynamic duo, our podcast.
And we are so happy to be here.
Wait, we didn't say
together
we rise.
I just said I'm happy to be there. Whoop, whoop. And we're waiting for our guest, and hopefully she, will be able to come on.
She is on the West Coast, so if
no,
not,
she's not on the West Coast. She's in Colorado.
Oh, okay. She's not on the West Coast.
No.
Okay, so anyway, we're here.
And we're happy to be here. And we're going to share some really great stuff as far as how our podcast came to fruition.
Yeah.
Fruition?
Yeah. And what we're up to.
Right. But we're going to introduce ourselves, aren't we?
Sure.
Because God forbid we forget to, introduce ourselves.
And, maybe there are people, which I'm sure there are, that don't know who we are and what we're all about. So go ahead, Roche.
Okay. I am Coach Rochelle. And I have been coaching in relationship coachings for, 27 years. And doing a lot of personal growth work. And you know what makes a good coach? Somebody that continues to grow and work on themselves. So we're really excited to be here. And I also had the pleasure of being on the Oprah Winfrey Show a while ago, but I still have to say it because it was just something that I just embraced because it was a very special moment. And now it's your turn, darling.
Hello. Hi, I am Coach Alisha Schwartz, and we are both trained and certified with the Ford Institute and really the work we do, besides, of course, our podcast and having people on our podcast sharing inspiration and their story and how they overcome their story of limitation and how they got to the other side, right? And how they're successful today. But we are really relationship coaches in shadow work. Woohoo! So the light of who we are, you got to turn on the lights. You got to turn the light to the dark. And guess what? Voila, you're free.
And that's what makes our relationship so exciting, because individually we've worked on our own self, and then whatever comes up for the both of us, we work on that together. And that's the gifts of knowing your shadows. And it's all your thoughts and your behaviors, your beliefs,
and really how to transform them in the light. If you stay in that deep, dark place, which we all have gone to before,
sure,
we can find the light to the dark and bring the gift to it. And there's a lesson and gift in everything that we do in our world. So we kind of guide you there. We help you. We consult. We coach. We help people move and navigate through those times so that they can shine all of who they are in the world.
And,
and be the light.
The light, and taking
the love,
but our story, and seeing what that's going to give us, so we can then take whatever that area is of our life that's keeping us stuck, that's keeping us in the darkness, how we can transform that within a split second.
And you know this.
What?
Transformation is just a shift in perception. And hello, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Hello. We love Elaine.
We love you, baby. And we were waiting for Tracy, but I don't know what happened to her, honey.
But
But we're here.
We're here to celebrate, to share.
And
how this came together. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, we'll talk about Elaine.
Okay. We're going to talk about you in a minute.
So let's talk about how the podcast came together.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I was meditating, which I always do, and I
feel like we're sitting in our cabin somewhere with a fireplace.
And it's about 100 degrees
here. And before
we
do that, let's acknowledge Nim.
Oh, yes, our Nim.
Woo! She's a social media guru.
And we love her. And she's up at like 4 o'clock in the morning where she is. So you can imagine.
And God knows everybody needs a Nim on their pocket.
Yes. Yes. In any event, how it became available through my meditating. And I think a lot of it was because of where this world is. And, you know, people want to be inspired. People don't want to listen to all the news, which is so negative. And it's like, I want to keep us all in a container of love, a bubble, a container. And how do we do that? How do we inspire other people? And then this came up, Together We Rise, because we can't do it on our own, but we can do it collectively. And so if we can stand together, then the power of all of us coming together can not only shift the stories that we all have, but it can shift the energy. And that's what we're about. We all are energy-driven people. So we decided for you to come into our sandbox and come play with us and have fun with us and have belly laughs with us. And it's not a structured type of podcast, because that's not who we are. We love to have you share with us everything that you've been through, all the trials and tribulations, and how you've managed to get through so that you can share it with other people. And that's kind of what came about for us to have a podcast. So we have some great guests. If you know people that want to come on, please email me at coachrochelle@comcast.net. And you can email Alisha
at shadowbstr3@yahoo.com.
And we do. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
I'm older,
going.
so I can go.
Keep
I'm on
going.
a roll, baby. So the other thing is that we are collaborating with MAPS, which is the global wellness that's coming on September 11th to the 17th. And it's just everybody coming together. You have so many incredible speakers and activities for children, and have, you know, people that have been inspired in their life and what they're going to share with you. And we will be there as well. And so we're very excited to be a part of the MAPS Global events. And
go ahead, you keep going.
I just you know,
I don't need to interject. Just take it on. Go right ahead, Rochelle.
If this isn't about love, what is it? That's what it's all about, guys.
She needs to express herself tonight. That's clear.
Love heals everything. So every time we do a podcast, I always pick a card. And tonight, I will read it because it is perfect.
Did you show it?
After I read it, I'll show it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I deserve wonderful things. Say it again. I know I deserve wonderful things. And the bottom part of this card is saying, I am worthy.
And what if, here it is.
Bring it
Can you
closer.
See? How pretty is that? I can't see. There you go.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. And what if everybody today, there's Tracy. What if everybody today can just breathe in that they are worthy? Just breathe in right now. You are worthy. There's nothing else you need to do. There's nowhere else you need to go. You just breathe in that you're worthy. Now that, wow, is a great exercise to do for yourself every single day.
And you lucky people, we have an ebook that we will give away that's free. And I see that we have
Tracy.
Tracy. Come on down.
Tracy.
Kinda. I am unable to get on my computer, so I'm on my phone. Hello.
Oh, wow. Hey. Hi, Tracy.
How are
Hello,
you?
ladies. How was your day?
Fabulous.
House is great. Now it's greater because you're here.
You're so sweet. Hang on. Let's see if this works.
Yeah,
Can you see me?
get you organized and clear here for you. There
Is
you
that
go.
good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that red on you. It's a great color.
Thank you. Thank you.
Red is powerful, babe.
So I am a 0 degrees Aries. So I get told that I look good in red a lot because, yeah,
You do.
that's who I am.
It's a great color. It's a great color.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I want to just introduce you for a moment, just to share with everybody and everyone that's listening out there, just a little bit about Tracy. Oh, there's your doggy. My dog's over there, Chloe. Oh.
This is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. That's so sweet.
Like, Mama.
Chloe's over here. She's digging away.
Yeah, Chloe's digging away to I don't know where.
Oh, wait, come here, sweetheart. She's up and all on it. Anyway, I want to introduce this beautiful guest and her dog. Say your dog's name. It's Samantha. Samantha and Tracy are here tonight. We love you already because you're such a dog person. And Chloe, you'll meet Chloe. She looks
As
like
soon as she calms down.
the lion queen. Let's introduce you, Tracy. Tracy Revell is a charisma and confidence coach whose coaching and programs fuse her 30 years of experience in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness and business. A powerful journey of healing herself brought Tracy the gift of helping others unlock their own innate, unique personal power. Woo-hoo. And with this strong core turned on and engaged, she guides them to identify and embrace their best course of action for maximum impact and living their lives with embodied confidence.
Ooh, powerful.
That's awesome. And her mantra, which is so powerful, is guts with grace.
Yeah.
I love it.
So taking international action with a self-confident presence and powerful voice from the inside out, life, body, business. The way to guts with grace isn't just your attitude or your mindset, it's in your body.
Well, so we welcome you.
That's you, Tracy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So how are you doing? How's your day been?
My day's been good. It's been busy. So, you know, again, I'm a 0 degrees Aries, so I'm happy when I'm busy.
I get it. I hear you. We understand.
You know, yeah. What are you ladies?
Well, I'm a Taurus. I have to look over my chart. I'm not sure. You know, I know I have Cancer in my chart. I know that.
Okay.
But I'm not sure of the whole.
Yeah, I've done
a lot of different things, but I always
don't
forget. It's hard for me to remember everything because there's so much to it.
There's so much to it.
Yeah, there really is. There really is. But you know, I just love what you're doing and how you're helping other people.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I saw a video of you with a client of yours, a gentleman.
Okay.
And I think it was just a week ago, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's adorable.
Isn't he adorable? I just love him. So that video, you guys, was it totally wasn't scripted. Like, it was like, okay, Bill, let's do a video. And
those are the best.
Totally. And so we had just had a session and it was like, all right, let's do a video. And so we go over there and I just start talking. And then I just flipped the camera and he was like, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh my God, perfect. It was perfect. So yeah, super
That's
bad.
awesome.
So
Yeah, thank you.
so how did you get into the work you're doing?
Well, I have literally been in the fitness business my entire life. I started teaching aerobics at 16 years old. So aerobics, right? And then working on the health club, working on the floor of a small women's health club, and selling health club memberships literally at 16 years old. So that's just what I've done my entire life. And my degree is in recreation administration with an emphasis on therapeutic recreation. So very early on, I always joked that I was drawn to peace signs and yin yangs, and I didn't know why. And yeah, so I also grew up in Texas, and I was fascinated by. I grew up in Austin, so there was. You know,
Nice. We have a
yeah.
in
So,
Austin. We've been.
So you know, I mean, and Austin's changed quite a bit, but old Austin, it's like unexplainable. If you're from Austin, you understand old Austin. So I grew up with weirdness around me, even though I was a Texas girl, so I was always fascinated with it. You know, even though it was like, ooh, you know, and so I moved to California for a while after getting my degree. I ran a small women's health club. While doing that, I taught a class called NIA. Have you guys heard of NIA?
Sounds familiar to me.
So NIA was my life for a very long time. It's a fusion fitness, body, mind, emotion, spirit, martial arts, healing arts, and dance arts class.
Nice.
And so while I was working for this women's health club chain, I built up a business teaching NIA classes and personal training kind of all through the Bay Area. And then I moved to the East Coast. I did the same thing. So kind of really starting to fuse. I did a lot of corrective movement with personal training. So teaching people to retrain their movement, but how to reconnect their minds and their bodies in a different way. And then the NIA had the spiritual and emotional aspects, and I taught Pilates as well. So it's got that core aspect.
Yeah.
And I had been doing, alternative weird work pretty much. When I was like in my mid-20s, I was dancing around naked with a bunch of women, twice my age in circles around. So it was kind of always just this embodiment, spirit, emotional, how it all intertwines and how it all shows up. So went from the East Coast, came to Colorado. I ran a personal training program for a high-end health club for 4 years. And so really kind of honed my business skills with that. And then decided I wanted to just create this speaking and coaching business. So Embodied Confidence actually started with my personal training and helping women be more confident in their bodies. And then it started morphing and bringing in my other pieces and really teaching people to pay attention to their bodies and what their bodies tell them in a very different way, and to own that and to honor like what they're told through that intuition, because our bodies are the vehicles that our souls come into this world in, right? And we've been very programmed that it's this weird, we're not our body, but we are only our body dichotomy, right?
Totally.
Yeah. So
there's so much emphasis on the body.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's important to pay attention to your body and to pay attention to your body in order to direct your life and connect with your own power, your life force, who you are, to direct your life from what you know by your body's intuition, not your body is the only thing that's important.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what you're saying is powerful, because I feel like that's what the grace of the network of God that made us, really, if you really look at what you're saying, it's really how God made us all. The intelligence of the body is mind-blowing. If you
Yeah.
just, not the physical, but the emotional body.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
And the emotional body shows up in the physical body in a language for us to pay attention to be able to get to what's true for us, and something in our lives that we need to pay attention to for whatever reason, right?
Yeah. And I think the exterior world has shifted a lot since I was growing up, because the emphasis was like Twiggy. That's what I grew up with. That kind of, you know, a figure of a woman who was as thin, and there was nothing. And how that has such an impact on young women, young girls.
Yeah.
And so I do believe, and the magazines, and I know everybody wants to look a certain way, so now magazines become really powerful for kids. But I also now see it's quite different. They have all different body sizes, and they're beautiful. They are gorgeous.
Totally.
So it's the confidence.
Yeah.
It's the confidence, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I think it's incredible.
Yeah,
I do.
powerful.
I really, really do, because I didn't have that growing up at all. I had the opposite. So it took.
Or to identify with your body as, you know, that's your winning formula.
Oh, yeah.
You know, using your body in a way that's not beautiful or, you know, sacred. Do you know what I mean? It's a whole, so it's really unwinding a lot of that too.
And I also think it's the internal dialogue that we tell ourselves. Oh, you're not too, look at your hips, look at your thighs, look at your breasts, look at this, look at that. And it's like that internal dialogue that's just takes us away from our truth and our intuition and who we really are.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's so powerful, and it's needed. You know, Bethany Frankel, I don't know if you know who she is, and she had said something about Kim Kardashian, who I think is gorgeous. She's just beautiful, and how she wore Marilyn Monroe's dress, and how she fit into it, and how she lost 16 pounds, I don't know, in what, a week or something like that. And she was right in the fact that you're giving younger girls a totally different, what's the word? Well, yeah, a message. And it's so unhealthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's so unhealthy. Everybody has a different body.
Right.
And if you can only embrace authentically the beauty of your body. Listen, for me, I might breast it down to my belly button. If I can't embrace that, what can I tell you? But I do look at it like, thank you, God, they're healthy. You know, it's how you want to see it.
Yeah.
I just think it's so, so important for, do you work a lot with men and women, or more men, more women?
More women. You know, and I get asked all the time, do you just work with women? And no, I work with men as well. Women tend to be more open to working on themselves.
Yes, always.
As we've discussed, a lot of what I do is digging into the shadow, and a lot of men don't really want to do that. You know, a lot of women don't.
We know that,
right? And a lot of women don't really want to do it either. You know, so I've gotten to a place where I have no desire to bang anybody over the head to make them dig. You know, if they want to go deep and they really want to change, right on. I am your girl.
Amen. Amen.
We are so in alignment with you.
You know, and if you want to ignore what we get in the process of uncovering it, and stay in your little game that you play with yourself, that's cool too.
Right.
I am not going to chase
Yeah.
you.
No,
So that's
I
kind of
agree.
where I am. And
I
so,
agree. And you know, I think a lot of people, I used to, I was a Weight Watchers,
Facilitator.
facilitator.
Yeah, you are.
And what happened was I had so much inner work that I wanted to show them differently. It's just not about the food.
totally. Yeah.
They want that quick fix. That's all they want. They don't want about the emotions and just tell me what I have to eat. Give me a plan and I'll eat it.
Yeah. Totally.
It doesn't last. It just doesn't last.
Yeah.
So I just think I think it's changing now.
Yeah.
I do.
Slowly.
Yeah, I do. And go ahead, honey.
The gateway to making changes as far as losing weight, keeping it off, changing your lifestyle and so forth, the gateway to actually changing your life is mindset. And people are starting to understand the mindset thing. It's starting to become mainstream. They're starting to understand there's really more to us, and it's starting to not be, just woo-woo and weird anymore.
Yes, exactly.
It's starting, right?
Like there's scientific evidence for cause and effect, and the way you think creates your reality that you're in.
Yeah.
Positive and negative.
And if we don't really hone in on what happens to us and we don't deal with our issues, it'll deal with us because it ends up in our body.
It's true.
And there's just no place for it to go. You hold on to it and it manifests into disease. It just does. I've seen it throughout my whole life. So,
and again, we're told that that's not truth. And our ancestors knew it was truth. That was how they treated disease. This whole thing that we have created now is 100 years old. How arrogant to think that like what we have now is the truth when millions of years it was treated the other way. So one of my catchphrases also is love your body, rock your life. So really taking care of your body and finding what really works for your body, right? So it's all encompassing. It's how are you wired? What are your genetics that play into what foods you can and can't eat that are good for you? Noticing your intuition in your body, how that shows up, loving what shape your body is. It's all encompassing. Love your body, rock your life. If we walk around not taking care of our bodies the way they're asked to be, hating our bodies, etc., it shows up in our presence and in everything in our lives.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. So what's the biggest lesson that you've learned about you?
That is a big question, of course.
It's a really big question. I've had lesson after lesson after, life change after life change after life change. So, layers, right? I would say the biggest is that I sold my house to invest in myself and invest in my business a few years ago. And the apartment I moved into had mold in it. And it just shut me down, really, long story short. And I lost everything, completely lost everything. And I moved out, long story short. When I figured it out, nobody helped me figure it out. Doctor after doctor after doctor told me wrong with me. Maybe I should just go work out harder. And I was depressed. So I figured it out. Long story short, I was sitting on the floor of the new apartment with just PTSD. What just happened to me? And I heard this voice, and it said, you need to get a job, and you need to get good people around you, and you need to take care of you, and you need to just take a breath. okay, cool. I mean, it was like clear. Have you guys ever had anything like that?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we can sit down for a couple of years.
I mean, but it was like profound.
Yeah.
How boom,
Connected. Yeah.
got it. So surrender, right? It was like, okay, so I got a job, and then I got another job, and then I got another job. And I'm in management with a weight loss lifestyle coaching company that we work a lot with nutrition and mindset and so forth. So that was really, really amazing that I ended up here. And I never wanted to do my business again.
Mm.
And then I started going, okay, maybe I can do my business again. And all I knew was I needed to do it differently this time, because what I did before was not sustainable. So surrender to me is having an intention, putting my attention on my intention, and taking action towards the intention. I can't control what's out here. I can only control me.
Yeah.
Listen, and I can take a step and move towards it. And so things just keep showing up, you know, and being able to really, 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 really do that has been, you know, everything, and not forcing, and really, truly allowing, right? With balance at the same time. Before my Achilles heel has always been love the person, ignore the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Taken me down time after time after time. And so this time I'm not doing that.
Well, when you say that, what does that mean? So people can understand that out there in the world. They can relate. Maybe they see something that you're saying. They go, oh my God, I know what she means. How did I?
For instance, I, you know, met people along the way that I would be like, okay, there's something going on with them, just because I feel things in my body and I know things, and I see in other people's bodies, and I'd be like, oh, that's okay. So there was a woman that, you know, I became friends with and got involved in her group or whatever. Well, come to find out, she had this partnership with this business partner, and I didn't know that it was a pattern of hers to have fallings out with business partners. Well, this one business partner decided that she was going to not only take this woman to court, but everybody around her that she thought was connected to her. So I got pulled with 7 other people that I had nothing to do with. And it cost me $7,500 just to attorney to get out of the lawsuit that I had nothing to do with. So because I ignored and just trusted, right? So this time I'm like, yeah, no.
Thank God you learned that. We all learn these lessons, right?
Yeah. And you know, all good. It's a learning and a growing and a surrender, listen, and take action according to what I know and what I feel, and not ignoring it at all.
Yeah, it goes back to, I remember, you know, many people, I mean, I remember Oprah saying, you know, even Maya Angelou, about, you know, when people tell you who they are, believe them. I mean, it's that gut feeling that you know, and it's like when we always overstep ourselves and our own boundary, we get the right to learn the lesson.
So now it's like, you know, if I know that we don't operate in the same reality at all, I have no room to go, oh, I'll give them a chance.
Maybe I can help them a little, give them some wisdom.
So
beautifully said.
That is beautifully. That's beautifully said.
So another question for you: if God could speak to you, which I'm sure you have conversations of your own many times in your life and day, if God could speak to you, what's the message he wants you to know?
Mm-hmm.
Or what's the message he wants you to know? Do you hear the same thing? Is it different every day? How do you work that? What's your...
You know, I guess the overarching thing is just really owning the all of me, and you know, the being that I am, the life force that I am, what I came here to do, and really minding how I communicate and how I interact to work with people with where they are, you know, to own that amazingness and still be really conscious of what other people need from me, because it's not going to always be full on Tracy. Full on Tracy freaks people out sometimes. So, you know, that, yeah. So it's that embodied confidence piece of noticing how your presence, your charisma, which is simply life force and life purpose, and those charismatic people, right? Mm-hmm. They are full of life force.
Oh yeah.
So how do we take that and really be effective in the world while still owning it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way of describing that, because as you know, there's so much going on in the world right today, and things are so different than they were, you know, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2. So it's like, how do you stay in that charisma, in that light of who you are with everything going on in the world, and not being sucked into all of that, right?
Totally.
The dance,
and I think it's
really,
and I think it's more prominent now because of what we went through with COVID. Yeah. And there was some wonderful things that came out of it, and some absolutely crazy things.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I don't remember this world being like this. It's just wild. But it's
wild, wild west.
Yeah, it is like the wild, wild west. But if you have the foundation and you have the tools to navigate yourself, then you have a better shot. You know, you really, really do.
So how do you ladies manage that? Your life force, your charisma, you're like...
You know, it's kind of like what you're saying. It's like really listening to where you and your energy is, right? It's like, if I feel like I need to hibernate, I hibernate to just take care of my energy, you know? Or, you know, because again, I'm also a massage therapist, so I'm working on people, and that's a transfer and a movement and a exchange. Yeah. So I've learned to listen to my body and what it needs. And I always take, oh my God, I must take 3 showers a day with salts and just cleanse and and I have some crystals, and I have I do some meditation too before I go to sleep, and I pray. I'm a big prayer, and I just use, really, the best thing that I ever had in my life is really the shadow work, because if I didn't have that foundation and that piece, I would be swayed all over. I'd be like, but because I have the foundation of, we are all of that. We are the light. We are the dark. We are all parts of the whole. It's an easier ride. It's not always easy. Do we get affected? Of course. But we have that foundation and God's presence, or whoever you pray to, or whatever you believe in, to use that to ground, firmly planted, rooted, so that when you're like the tree, your leaves can sway, but that foundation is strong and rooted. So grateful, mentor and teacher, Debbie Ford.
Yeah.
Angel in the sky. Yeah. She, you know, really gave us the tools and taught us everything we know today. We just share it with everybody. And that's why, you know, when we found you, or my mom, or however this, Elaine, right? And you said, you know, Debbie Ford, and you know her work, and you've done shit. Yeah. We were like, oh, You know, like, thank God.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For me, it's a daily practice. I mean, I can't leave this house without my prayers. Now, I can't get on my hands and knees anymore, because then forget about it. You can't get me up. I'd have to lay there. But I do, before I get off my bed, I'm so grateful. I look for what I'm grateful for. And I pray and I thank. And it's like, okay, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? Who do you want me to be? And I do that. And I have a meditation class I do 4 times a week. And then I take on another meditation that's about 50 minutes every single day for the past 6 weeks. I'm very committed to feeling good. And I am. I really am. And we're all made of energy. So, you know, it's like bringing that light to everybody, you know, just giving them that light into their spirit, their heart. And hopefully they receive that, because it does. It just shifts. And it's gratitude. Personally, I believe that.
Cool. And the other thing I want to say, because you have your dog Samantha and I have my dog Chloe, and they give you so much light. And she comes with me to work every day. She's with me all the time. Yeah, so she gives that energy. And I find that when she's with me, people light up. So whatever's going on, boom, the energy shifts. And that's the gift of animals too, you know?
And I also want to say one thing. Camille, who's a very dear friend of ours, I call her, she's my sister from another mother. And she just wrote, you have to thank God every second because we are so blessed to be alive.
What's that?
Is that in the chat?
Yes, yes.
I can't see it.
You can't see
it. You
can?
can?
Well, she says grateful for life. Yeah. COVID woke the world up. Totally knowing who we are is very powerful.
We'll see.
So
we're very much at a turning point for people.
Yes, we are.
For what? We're at a turning point for people. You said something I didn't hear.
For them to remember who they are or not.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I pray for that.
Yes,
I do. I do pray for that, honestly. And if you were going to give someone the best advice in life, what would it be?
Own it, live it, love it. Personal power is internal direction with the absence of outside forces. So it's that voice of God, of intuition, of again, you know, knowing what you know. It's another one of my phrases, know what you know, right? So many of us doubt ourselves. So learn who you are, uncover who you are, how you're really wired, listen and honor and take action from that. Your life, your body, your relationships, how you're doing anything is not going to be how anybody else does it. So we all owe it to ourselves to own our own power. And that is simply just like, I am who I am, you know, instead of trying to be somebody else.
Yeah. Do you have a daily practice, Tracy, that you like to do that keeps you grounded? I know you asked us, and as you were saying that just popped up. So I figured, let me ask you what you do so people can also know as well, because you might have some other things too that you do.
So again, I'm a 0 degrees Aries, so I work out for an hour and a half to 2 hours a day.
Amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And what's that exercise?
What do you do? Do you do like
Well, I grew up in a gym, so I lift and again taught classes of all kinds all of my life. But when the world blew up, which is what I call it, the gym's closed.
I know.
Yep. And I was like,
what? What now?
So I started going outside and I devised this route around my neighborhood, and I tie a tube around my waist and I cruise outside and I do this power walk workout and I do squat rows with my tube along the way. And
no way. You go, girl. Inspiring.
Oh my God.
And now I'm like, I crave being outside. I crave the walk out. And I have people all the time, you guys, they stop, like men stop all the time, but women too. And they're all like, what?
Absolutely, yes.
And they're like, we see you all the time. You're such an inspiration. Oh my God, And I'm just in my own world, but really, like every day, cars are driving by. Everybody sees me every single day doing it,
Wow.
It's cool because, again, circling back around, we never know who we're going to affect.
That's very true.
100%.
And being our authentic selves. So that's my daily practice. But, embodied confidence, one of my main tools is, my people call it the position, is head over chest over pelvis, and like bring yourself present and aligned, right? So our bodies are part of the sacred geometry of the all that is. So if we're aligned, it's that sacred geometry that we can get information clearly. And if we're embodied, right, all of that other stuff will go away and we can be clear. So practice constantly for me to bring myself back to my body as well, right?
And
nice.
If one of your clients is having a body issue, I mean, most people do.
Right.
What's the biggest challenge they have with their body?
Well, what have you found? Yeah.
Or what have you, and you're coaching with them?
They don't live in it.
Mm. It's funny because people will get on my table and they'll go, God, I never felt that. I'm like, yeah, because you aren't in your body to feel it. So you're on a table, you're still, and I'm working so you can feel it. You're in a rest and relaxation. Most people are in that,
and they're vulnerable.
Fight or flight,
totally.
Right? So they don't have access to it.
Totally.
They're exactly what you're saying, and you teaching that is extremely powerful, because most people, I've been a massage therapist for 25 years, are clueless. They're not even in tune with what they're feeling in their body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've been very programmed. Again, that weird dichotomy. We've been very programmed to be disconnected from our bodies. And at the same time, that's all that we are. It's this, it's true. It's true. Really bizarre dichotomy. So no wonder everybody's so messed up. We've very much been programmed to be that way. So to teach people to actually come back to their bodies, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I have a question about that. When you teach them to come back to their bodies, do you ever do mirror work with them?
No, I have not.
Oh, baby.
That could be an implementation.
Oh, wow. It's phenomenal.
Cool.
We'll talk about that off. It's a great. It's
Absolutely.
really great. It really is.
It really changed
powerful.
my world.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. And I'm sure it'll help you and your people too.
Cool.
Go ahead, Mom.
Go ahead.
So here we go. Ready? What advice would you give to your youngest, sweetest self?
Oh God.
Now that you are who you are today, changing, what would give? What advice would you give to your youngest, sweetest self?
Well, what keeps popping up is it's going to be okay. My mom died when I was 9 3/4. So my father like completely lost it. And so a lot of my younger life was circled around making my dad okay and me find my way, you know, and I got really lost in all of that. And you know, it's been a journey of returning to myself, right? And yeah, it's going to be okay is what keeps popping up. But when is it ever okay? I don't know. I mean,
well, if you listen to your youngest self,
Yep.
that would probably help you in a big way. You know, it's funny because I see this little girl part of you as we said
Yes, I
that
do
just
too.
like pop up out of
Yes.
you. And it's so cute because I think we tend to think that little girl isn't there, but she's right there. You got your big self and your young self, you know, and so I think that little girl part of you is
She's there, babe.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So we honor her today.
Oh, yes, we do.
yeah.
We absolutely do. So what do you feel is the purpose of forgiveness?
Ooh,
You like it, huh?
that's a new one.
Yeah.
What do I feel is the purpose of forgiveness? So forgiveness is forgiving ourselves, healing, you know. There's again this misconception out there that it's about like the other person. And if we hold on to things, it'll eat us alive and it'll ruin our lives. It doesn't actually do anything to them, you know. I worked with this woman who, you know, carried around this her ex-husband and a former life, and it permeated into everything that she did and what like literally every conversation she had to bring it up.
Yeah.
It was like she sucks the life force out of like everything around her, you know. And just let that go and let ourselves move into what's next for us and know that that was just a part of it. You know, my ex-husband, my life was destroyed with my ex-husband, and it's not even a part of my life anymore. Like I don't even remember it because it was like, yeah, cool. You know, that was what we both needed to do.
Yeah.
So,
well, you probably did a lot of work around that for you to get to a place where you are today, which is free of that. And that's what you're saying here is what I'm hearing from you is that you were able to forgive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forgiveness is so freeing for you. And it heals so many different parts of who we are by forgiving ourselves and then others.
I'll never forget our mentor and teacher, Debbie. She used to say, do you want to carry that person on your back?
Yeah.
Do you really want to do that? Because if you do, hold on to that. Hold on for all it's worth. Because if you do, you're carrying them with you. Or you could forgive. And then guess what? You don't have to carry them anymore. And I thought, wow, that's
Brilliant.
really
Brilliant.
And it helps even to this day. I'll hear that I'll hear her voice in my head going, do I want to carry this person around?
So, I mean, was that just a visceral understanding for, you know, the people that worked with her? Did that help you guys get it immediately?
Well, I think that being around her as much as I was, because I was really around her daily, it was instilled in me. I got it on a very deep, visceral level because I was around someone that was teaching it and being it all the time. Cool. So it was easy. It was easier. Let's just say it was easier to implement it and use it.
Cool.
And it was, I think it also was implemented in our work. In all
we talked
the
about
work
it all
that
the
we've
time.
done. Oh my
forgiveness,
God.
forgiveness,
integrity.
Integrity.
Amazing.
And I used to think integrity was like money, you know, you owe someone money. If you, I did, this was where my mindset was growing up, because that was a big thing around my family, was the money. So when I got into this and, you know, Debbie used to speak about integrity, she would say, it's not about money only. It's about your word. It's about what you say. It's, you know, and so then I was like, oh my God, I got a lot of work to do. You know, like, wow, if it's that, I got to look at it.
Yeah.
So it was a big eye opener for me, because I think a lot of people identify integrity around money.
It's not just
but
that.
It isn't. It's everything, and who you are and everything you're being.
And your word. And that's where
I'm always learning integrity all the time. And you know, did I say that I was going to do that? And oh my God, I got to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So
I had to do a lot of forgiveness in my whole life, right through my younger years, through this work, all the way up. But it freed me. And it's the greatest thing when you can not only forgive yourself and others, but when you can be in a room with somebody that you were married to for many years and be okay and look at that person with totally a different lens and just have compassion. It is the most beautiful thing that you can possibly give yourself, is the greatest gift.
And then being in a relationship with my mom all the time. You know, it's a daily forgiveness.
Yes, it is.
You know?
Like today.
Yeah.
What happened today?
What happened? Well, my mom and I are both Tauruses. So if that gives you any clue, we're two bulls. So it's always about right.
Yeah.
Being right. Being right, being right, being right, being right. And it shows up in different ways.
Oh, yeah,
totally. Know? So my mom, you know.
I was looking, I thought I had something, and then I called and she said something like, no, I don't have it. And that was it. I was off.
She hung up on me. And I hung up.
I can't handle this. I can't handle this.
And I said to her, wait, we're supposed to be talking about how we communicate with each other and helping people. Hello. Let's just figure this out now.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm the one that brings it around.
She does.
And holds it so we can work through it. Because my mom tends to just, you know.
I leave.
She leaves. She withdraws.
I just don't want to be around it. But
and I'm like.
I need time. And
she
then
does.
I can
she comes around.
I do come
I'm like,
around.
let's get it. Come on, let's go for it. Let's get it now. Let's dig in and let's move on. I don't want to hold on to it.
So my thing today with her is, okay, when the teacher is ready, the student appears. Okay, I'll listen.
I'm like, perhaps I could give you a little help here. Maybe I have some wisdom that you might want to listen to. Maybe.
Yeah,
just try it.
It's just.
So it's fun though, because I get to play in the dance and always learn how someone else communicates, that it might not work. The way that I'm communicating with her might not work. So how do I rearrange the way in which we're communicating so we both hear each other? I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can think one way, I can communicate one way, and she doesn't get what I'm saying. So I have to stop and say, okay, what are we not hearing from each other? How can we work this through? What is it you need? What is it I need? And how can we say this in a way that you hear me?
And in 2 seconds, it's over.
Yeah, it was about 5 minutes. So that was good. It's all the work.
So I just have one more question, and then Alisha is going to read something that I chose tonight for you.
Okay.
And who are the 1 or 2 people in your life that had the biggest impact in your life?
I have a mentor named Bill Sumner, who I met because I was at Whole Foods and I was in the parking lot, and really story short, he runs over and he's like, "Are you Tracy Revell?" You don't know me, but I'm Bill Sumner, and I've been face talking you for a year, and I do the masculine feminine work, and I think you're the only woman that can stand up with me and do this work. And I had been toying around with, you know, the feminine power and, you know, so forth and so on, but I really had no clue, none. And yeah, we never actually necessarily worked together, but he changed my life.
Mm.
He definitely changed who I am.
Mm.
I had another teacher named Carlos Rosas. He was, God, I still cry when I talk about this man.
Mm.
He was one of the creators of Nia. And Carlos would always challenge me, push me, and, you know, like being stupid, pretty much call me out on being stupid without telling me I was being stupid. But
That's
like,
one of our
you
shadows.
gotta love that. Yeah.
well, it was like right after my divorce, and I was, who's not a disaster after they get divorced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Disaster. And so I was just, you know, doing lots of attention seeking and ridiculous stuff. And he was very much a shaman and an energetic guru. And he would just guide and direct and say things that really, really contributed to who I am now.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Wow.
Well, with that beautifulness,
oh my God, if you were right here, we would hug you up.
Why is that?
Why?
Because of who you are. What do you mean? Why?
You are our mirror.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Hello.
Those were pretty deep answers, huh?
Yes, because that's who you are, very deep. So, Miss Tracy, we're going to read this from our beautiful, amazing mentor. This was her book that she wrote, From the Other Side, Your Holiness. Wait, which way can I go? There you go. Can you see it? Okay. All right. Here we go. It's letting your own light shine. So if you want to just breathe in, and close your eyes and just take it in and bring it into that beautiful body of yours, your heart, your soul. So our deepest fear, and I'm sure you've heard this before, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talent, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. So as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson from The Return to Love. So we celebrate you. We thank you for so much for coming and sharing your wisdom, your story, and just who you are.
Also, I think Nim
and your work.
We're going to put. How do people get a hold of you?
I think Nim put it in.
Did she put it in? Because I don't know. I don't.
She will, but you can share it. You know, tell everybody, and then Nim will put it in the chat in the comments.
So I have a freebie on my website 7 reasons why you're exhausted that you have no idea are making you exhausted. If your listeners would want to go download that, and they get a 40-minute confidence clarity session with me as well, if they will email me at tracy@embodiedconfidence.com and just tell me that they heard this podcast and want to do the confidence clarity session, but they have to download the freebie first so we can have somewhere to start.
Got it.
So again, my email, tracy@embodiedconfidence.com. Website is embodiedconfidence.com. Facebook, embodiedconfidence.com.
Everywhere.
I'm Tracy Darlene on Facebook if you want a personal follow me, and then Tracy Revell 69 on Instagram if you wanna look me up there.
All right, everyone. We thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you, sweetheart, so much. We are honored to have you tonight.
It was so
blessed.
We bless you.
We bless you. We thank you. And we love you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Mwah. Have a good night.